Hey everyone, welcome to Compliance Weekly, 20th of August 2024. First thing on agenda is to review milestone board. Let me share my screen. Is it visible? First
Yes.
one we have here is background migration to insert data into new audit event tables. This is with me. So this one is merged and completed. The background migration ran successfully on staging. There, so I was making sure that all the audit events have been migrated, but I found out that uh, we also have audit events belonging to entity type of user namespace, which we didn't knew before. So I will have to create a new table for holding these type of audit events at an instance
Uh,
level, probably.
okay. Did
And
we
then,
check like what kind of audit events belong to these? Could we like move them to either group
yeah,
or
yeah. For example, when a project is removed, those types of audit events, if a project was under a user namespace, are getting generated with entity type user namespace.
and are those events on even visible somewhere? Because
I think
uh,
they would be visible
only
under
on the instance,
admin
right?
or yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
No, Nate, is this even a feature we should have? Like probably this is happening because we just like in the code we just create the audit event if it was an ultimate project, but we never considered that if this project belonged to a personal namespace. I'm not even sure if we should have that feature. I mean, is it a feature or just a bug? Because there's no way for someone on GitLab SaaS to actually see those events. And if it is for the
Mm.
self-managed instances, I'm not sure if it even makes sense because self-managed instances won't have like paid user namespaces for themselves. They would either be a licensed version of self-managed. So
Yeah,
that doesn't make
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, that never.
so the problem. I mean, instead of working in the direction of creating a new table for user namespaces and then storing those events, I would say like should we just stop creating those audit events? Because at least on GitLab.com, no one can see those events. So for us, like none of the customers should be impacted. We just need to make sure like no one on self-managed is impacted because of this. That would be the correct way to move forward, at least in the engineering direction, I believe. From what's right from the product side, I'm not sure.
No, makes sense to me. If you want to create an issue, Hasima, and we can continue the discussion there and
Yeah.
get Ian to weigh in.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I
Cool.
think these are very small number of
Yes.
events. Yeah, only around 1800 of them. So yeah, I will create an issue and we can move the discussion to. Next one is with Aaron, add job source to API.
Yeah, I can talk about this one. So, yes, we're adding a source property to the jobs. Um, This is because we're adding in the pipeline execution policy and scan execution policies as a source that we can determine when a job is triggered due to those policies, and then obviously the attestation is coming directly from those policies rather than any job that's defined within the project. So yeah, and that's adding that source to the API now available.
Okay. Next one is add learn more back to the compliance framework ID pop over with Metallic.
Oh, yeah, that was like a small issue to add a pop-up to the framework ID. Initially, I haven't added it because I didn't know where the link should go. And once we figure out the right doc page, I added the pop-up.
Add status filter for adherence check page. I think this one is not required now.
Yes, so that was
Yeah.
closed as the will be over or changed in the custom adherence report.
Okay. Next is the design. Then we have documentation change
Yes.
and
Shout out
GitLab
to
bots.
Evan, and also shout out to Evan on his 6-year anniversary as well. Um, the GitLab bot was documented in the docs, but it wasn't explicitly around what functionality it had access to and how and who had access to it. So we just made some updates to the docs to make that explicitly clear.
I think like just as an action item from this, we should probably create some kind of danger hooks that reports on an MR, like whenever people start using like any kind of bots, or specifically to this one, like the admin bot, they should also update that in the document, because this document would then go stale very easily.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually, because it could be a bot that's used by any group for any.
Yes, and the reason, using this danger bot is not that tricky, I believe, because we already have things like whenever we add a new argument to a sidekick worker, it pops up saying like this should be backward compatible. So whenever it sees the word GitLab admin bot, it just adds that comment there. And if it's not relevant, people can just ignore that comment.
Yes. Cool. I can create a follow-up issue for that. Or actually, do you want to, Huzaifa?
I'll create the issue.
Cool. Thank you.
Next one is a UX change compliance center. Projects list mobile view broken.
Yeah, so this was actually fixed by Natalia in a recent update with the multiple compliance frameworks assigning. So this issue was closed.
Next one is also with Natalia, improve pop-ups and linking and compliance badges.
Oh, yeah. So we want to, in the top level of Compliance Center, there is a pop-up and the user will be redirected to edit screen of the framework, and in the like subgroup or subgroup, if there is a pop-up, we want to redirect user to the view details of the framework. So basically, it was about it.
Okay. Next on agenda is the planning priorities. First one is with Josefa.
From the backend side, the first MR for the migration is completed. The second MR for actually creating a link between the security policies and compliance requirements is a work in progress. And from the front end side, I guess the planning was done. Not sure what we did further.
Sorry, I missed like which you said is completed?
The front end planning for custom adherence.
Okay. Yeah. That
The
one
planning is complete, right?
completed.
Yes.
Yeah, the planning is complete, and one issue is in verification. Right?
Oh, nice.
Okay. Compliance pipeline to security policy migration with Sam.
Yes. No progress there since I was on PTO last 3 weeks.
Next is Hitesh, he's not here. Then we have third-party connector to Snowflake with Sam.
Yes. I believe Huzaifa merged fix that was related to the upgrade path from 1.0 to 2.0, related to some permissions in the database getting reset. Otherwise, there's no progress other than that.
Next is with me, sales compliance database changes. So as I shared the update, there was few audit events missing, which we will discuss on a separate issue. Apart from that, projects controller is almost done. Our data immersion, and as soon as the background migration is completed on production, we can test it out and then release this behind a feature flag. Next is again with Natalia, multiple compliance framework levels.
Oh yeah, so yesterday I've seen that the small backend bug we had was merged. So my merge request was merged this night as well, and now it is in verification. So I think next week, I hope we will hear good news about it.
Last one is comprehensive audit log with Nate.
Yeah, and I can give an update for Ilya as well. The project level actually has an MR in review or just about to get into review. So that's getting close to closed out there. And we're talking with Authentication, who are looking at adding a bunch of instance level audit events. So that's will definitely add. I think they're looking at adding like 20 or something audit events, which will be exciting.
Okay. Let me stop sharing my screen. Next we have is Josefa has a discussion on walkthrough Kibana dashboard for audit events.
I'm not sure if this has any safe information, Nate. Can we?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, actually, let's wait for the recording to stop. Sorry.
Okay.